All right, guys, I'm here to introduce Tim Thackrey, Coach Tim Thackrey. Everybody give him a big hand first and foremost. Now, Tim was born into the martial arts. Both of his parents, his mother's a forms world champion. His father and his mother own a martial arts school, and he was born into it. He was a world bronze medalist for Olympic Taekwondo. He is probably going to be in the Taekwondo Hall of Fame eventually because of what his accolades and all the things that he's done. He's won the Pan Am Games. But post-career, he's stayed involved. He's trained several Olympians over many sports. He's trained CrossFit Games athletes. He started companies that help people, specifically everybody from grandmas to little kids, grow and become better physically and mentally as athletes. I look up to him as a friend and as a mentor. I think he's a great person, and he can help fix you. So everybody give him a quick, big round of applause for Tim Thackrey.
All right. Thank you. So this is Coach Tony Graff. You guys, who saw Coach Graff kick last session? Still got it, right? That was my roommate from when we were little babies at the Olympic Training Center. And now we're doing it, so it's pretty cool. Raise your hand here if you have a big injury in your past at all. Raise your hand if you've never been injured ever. Right? So a couple of you young ones, if you're 18, you don't exactly count. You have some injuries? I think we talked about, a lot of us do. Who here has been here for more than 2 days so far? 2 days, 3 days? How mentally focused do you feel at the end of these sessions? Right, so we're going to talk about that with your nervous system in regards to training and recovery and how it really dictates with old injuries and progression, especially in the martial arts and staying in the game. Sounds good? Yes, Coach? All right, here's where we're going to do a quick nervous system test that I use for people on readiness. We don't have a lot of equipment. Grip strength is one of the biggest predictors of readiness for any training session. And we know if we go into a training session, if you're at 50%, what happens? You try, I'm going to push it, you take some C4, you take your jacked, and now you're up here and you're like bouncing off the walls, but you're not actually physically ready. Right? So everyone do this. Everyone take your hand up in the air and shake it out. I want you to try and make a tight fist and go. Make a tight fist. Okay, relax. Go ahead and shake it out. Do it one more time. Relax your fist and make a tight fist. Okay? Go ahead and relax for a second. On a scale of you at your very best, your focus, it's for your black belt testing or for a competition, how tight and crisp was that fist compared to what you're capable of? Not as good, right? Exactly. So if that's the case, we have to look at it that if all training regiments are an organized regimen of stress, right? There's a certain way we're trying to break your body down to come back. If you're a little mental fatigued, who has a little bit of mental fatigue? It's okay. You're trying, it doesn't mean we don't have it. Who has an old injury here? Yes, you've got one. That if we try and say, good, we're going to come up and load you, I don't care, you've got to want it really bad. What are things that can happen or that have happened to you? What happened? What are some things that can happen? Give me an example. Both SI joints that go out. Exactly. What's something for you? Torn meniscus. Where's my man Chris? What happened? Torn calf after 6 hours of dancing. Right? That's, yeah, exactly what. Patellar tendon. So I'm hearing a lot of knees, a lot of hips, a lot of ankles. Yes? What for you? Ooh, that's not fun. Yeah, I don't love those. Yes, sir. Rotator tears. So these joints. Yes, sir. More ACLs, not great. So we've all got these things, but we want to stay in the game. Right? Yes? Yeah. More interesting, we can do the whole hour of all injuries we've had. The goal is we want to try and get back into training. So what we're going to do first, we're going to do a quick little movement screen to look at some injuries you all have. What we're going to do is break down some of the issues from nervous system, how that's connected with metabolism and function for recovery, and how that's going to dictate actually your intensity in your sessions. Does that sound good? Yes, Coach? All right, let's all get everyone against one of the walls here. We're going to do a quick knee and ankle screen to start out. You've probably done this before. And what you're going to do, you can keep your eyes, where's what I can do? The first test is about ankle mobility. And this is one that ends up actually causing a lot of knee issues for everyone in any type of martial art, whether it's grappling, kicking, striking, because this is where we produce force from the ground through our body, right? So to do that, we have to move through the ankles, of course. The test is this. I want to see how far you can get your knee to touch the wall while keeping your whole foot on the ground. So you can do it. You can squat down even if you need to. You can have your hand on the wall. That's fine. With your right leg, everyone go ahead, and I want you to see how far, keeping that heel, see that heel's coming up, keep it down, and go ahead and touch it. Yeah, that's the idea right there, and go ahead and hold it. If you get it, go ahead and move a little back and try again and go a little further. Just with your right leg, your hand against the wall is totally fine. And we're going to see you're going to feel a little tightness, a little stiffness to that end range of motion. We'll be playing through that the entire session. Okay, go ahead and relax. Now I want you to go to your left leg. Notice how far your right foot was, and we're looking for the imbalance between your right and your left leg. And go ahead with the left leg. If you get that knee on the wall, you can go ahead and move back some. Good, move back a little further. Your hands are on the wall are just fine. Give it one more quick test. Try and move back just a little bit, keeping that heel on the ground, and when you're done, we're done. Okay, good, go ahead and relax. Who here, by a show of hands, had both feet exactly the same distance from the wall? Who had one that was who had their left leg was a little better? Right, who had their right leg a little better? Okay, so almost everyone here had some sort of small imbalance just at the start. So if we're trying to build ourselves up, and if all training regimens are an organized regimen of stress, and we're going to try and break you down, should we probably take that into account of what we're doing today? I think it makes sense if we want to stay in the game. Okay, from here, everyone back on the mat and get a little space, please and thank you, where you can lie down. The next one we're going to move up the chain is going to be about rotation in the thoracic part of our back, right? We have the lower, upper, the middle part of our back is what we're going to do. From here, you're going to get on the side of the ground with your feet together, knees together, hips together. Nothing can open. I heard, who had the shoulder rotator cuff issue? Who had the SI joint in the hips? Yeah, we've got a lot of these going on. Here's the quick screen that I'm looking for just to kind of dictate where we're going. Both arms are together, arms are straight. You just try it with me here. Without letting your hips come up or your knees open or your feet open up. Nice and slow, arm all the way. Keep that shoulder on the ground. Can you bring that arm to touch the ground without reaching? Go ahead and try. And back over. Good. Raise your hand if you got the right arm to touch the ground. Raise your hand if you're like me and you can't get that. Yeah, we're tight. Good. Let's go to the other side now. Good. Both arms in, feet together, knee together, hips on the ground, shoulder on the ground, all the way over. Reach, 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 reach. And see if you can get that with a straight arm to touch the ground. No bending. No like trying to get your fingernails on it. And back over. Up. Okay, good. Go ahead and sit up. Here. Who got one hand to touch the ground? Who got both hands to touch the ground? Who's like me and got neither arm to touch the ground? Right, old injuries. So we have some ankle issues. Some people have upper body issues we're looking at. The second pillar, if all training regimens are an organized regimen of stress, all training regimens are an organized regimen of stress, right, then we can only train what we can recover from. So if we have so much stress in our life, right, work is stress, travel stress, training stress, even being here, it's good, it's an awesome thing, but it's hard on our body to recover. We said our nervous system was fatigued, our body's fatigued. All those go into how we recover. Who slept great while you're here in Las Vegas? Who's eaten great while we've been here? I've eaten good foods, but I didn't eat great. You know what I mean? So are those things that are predictive of recovery? Yeah, so again, so we look at it's all regimens of stress. Am I? Okay. I'm buzzing, it's okay, I'll keep talking. And we can only train what we recover from. We have old injuries or issues that are inhibiting our movement. And we say, hey, I know, I want you to overhead squat. I want you to do box jumps. We're going to be able to adapt from that. Most likely not. So we're going to do the training without getting anything out of it. I feel like I'm a movie star right now. Right there. Awesome. Okay, everyone stand up. Here we go. Number 3, now we're going to say we want to start training. If, again, it's all stress, we're trying to break our bodies down to recover and come back in a stronger way. We say, cool, so we don't have a lot of equipment. What are things we could probably do to start training? What would be some easy things from a strength and conditioning side that might help us get better at martial arts? Yes? Air squats. Awesome. That's what I was hoping to be by the third guess you got it the first time. Very common. Okay, from here, everyone really quickly drop down the bottom of the squat. Go. Okay, go ahead and stand up. Who did that cause a little bit of pain and discomfort to? Yeah, almost everyone. We saw heels coming up, knees coming up. So it may not be the optimal thing for us to look at. So we'll do a quick thing called the deep squat mobility. It's going to be another quick assessment that'll bring us into our last kind of main pillar we want to do. So from here, you can see me from the side, straight legs. Everyone send your hips back with straight legs. From here, bend your knees and come down and bring your hips back in. Awesome. Feet are flat on the ground. From here, bring your right arm up nice and straight, and your left arm up nice and straight. And from here, now both arms in a Y, up here, thumbs facing backwards, heels on the ground, and stand. Okay, so you have very good mobility. Come on out and show this one real quick. Go ahead and get down, heels on the ground, hips down, arms up, and standing up. Pretty good, right? Round of applause. Awesome. And you, sir, can you volunteer for me? This is much more like mine, okay? So come down in this bottom position of the squat, and we get to help fix some movement here, down, nice and easy. Go push those knees out, arms up, nice and tall. So we see here, are the arms totally straight? When the arms aren't straight, the force here through the thoracic part of the spine usually is broken. As we straighten the arms out, you see how the hips shifted? There's some compensation stuff happening. Thank you, sir. What's your name?
Landon.
Landon, give Landon a round of applause. Both of you guys, thank you very much. Yeah, we do. So the goal of this is to get better at martial arts, to keep you in the game. So if we look how training was when me and Coach Graff lived at the Olympic Training Center, do we do a lot of air squats? No, it was like lift heavy, jump off the boxes, everything that you could do, because the sport and training is largely dynamic, meaning you're punching, you're striking, you're moving. That's good. But what we have to focus on now is the base of support underneath the recovery. So if we're doing dynamic contractions all the time, should our training be focused on dynamic contractions, hard, high repetition training? If we have injuries, if we have things that are causing impingement, inflammation, and other injuries, is that the smartest approach to keep us in the game? Probably not. So what we're going to start doing now is going through how do we create a base of support based on, there's 50 different movement screens we probably could have done right now, based on these couple that we did to help keep you all in the game. Sounds good? Yes, Coach? Okay, so from here, the first one, I want everyone to get in groups of 3, please and thank you. Get three people, anyone you want. Introduce yourselves, say hi. Hopefully you're making new friends this weekend. Okay, here we go. So the idea is old training, when we look at it from a high performance standpoint, usually contractions are very fast. A box jump, a power clean, things like that that are obviously very effective, they're very fast contractions, right? Are we also doing fast contractions in our training? Sure. Regularly, yes, absolutely. So if we don't balance that out with slower movement quality-based contractions and focus on joint health and things that your body can recover from, it won't adapt. It's basically, think about it, of a pillar of stress. If this is all the stress your body can handle, what are the stressors in your life? Who wants to give me some? Work is stress. What else? Kids are stress. Marriage. Well, geez, you said that too fast. Sorry. Yeah. All these things. What about good things? Are good things in our life stress? Yes. They're still stress because our body can't distinguish between good and bad stress. A wedding and a funeral elicit the same stress response. What part of our body elicits the stress? Stress hormone, right? Well, very, very deep, yes, we look at our adrenals and cortisol. Cortisol is our stress hormone. So if we're doing training now, we have old injuries that are causing a lot of injuries. I see some smiling there. He's like, yep, right? Injuries are coming up. Are we going to be able to adapt from that? No, it's too much, literally too much stress. The term is distress. What we're trying to do is create EU-stress. This is the positive adaptation. So it means we have to be able to do training that our body can handle. At the end of it, both our nervous system can express it, our joints and our positions we can get into properly, so we're not causing more pain. Sound good? Yes? Okay, so here's the first one we're going to do. And Miss Athena, please and thank you, come out. We're going to do the first one with our partner is going to be a reverse lunge. So everyone can do it. So easy. You're 22? How old are you? 21. Right there. It's going to be a reverse lunge. So she's just going to step back here. Those of you that have knee pain, the reverse lunge is a really effective piece because everything we're already doing is forward. Kicking, moving, running is forward on the knee, so we're going to try and balance that out without doubling down. So she's going to reverse lunge down and back. There we go, and up. Her dad's going to give her some manual resistance. right? We want to be able to do resistance training, as that will cause increase of lean muscle growth, which is the best thing for both metabolic function and recovery. So she's going to lunge back. He's going to push her down, try and push up against him, and then up nice and slow. We're going to try and go down for 3 seconds every rep. Okay, for this first one, the partner will watch. We'll need you for the next movement we do. Nice and slow, down, 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 and up. And notice she's going backwards here in the reverse lunge. So those of you that have the ankle issues, is there a lot of ankle movement here? No, go ahead and do a forward lunge from this point, Athena. Go ahead and step forward. There we go, just like that. Notice it's coming forward. There's nothing wrong with that, but if we're going to try and load it up at this point with this type of rep scheme, it's just not going to work. It's probably going to cause a lot more injuries to us. So with your partners here, let's get the first person up, and we're going to have the manual resistance. So find the first person who's going to lunge, one person that's going to get to chill for a second. Yeah, I'm going to leave the count. Here we go. So first one up, you can do it in place or reverse. Person number 2 is going to push on the shoulders down. So as you're going down, we're trying to fight against that resistance to come back up. Okay, on my count, here we go. Ready? We'll do 5 of these. And 3 seconds down. Ready? And down. 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. 3, 1,000. And up. Okay, come up and let them come up regular. Good, and ready. This push on the down. So we're fighting them against the down position. Ready? And number 2. And 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. 3, 1,000. And up. Good. 2 more times. Ready? Down. 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. 3, 1,000. And up. And one more time, here we go, down, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and up. Good, partner number 2, rotate. So if you're in, you get to squat. Squatters get to watch. Absolutely. The things I'm looking for is upright leg, as little ankle movement as we can on this one. Okay, ready, on my count, 3 seconds down, push against them nice and strong, because they're fighting on the way up. This is called the eccentric load. What we're trying to do is increase the eccentric, that's lowering. We're trying to minimize the concentric, which is over and over. If you think of a general high-intensity interval training workout, like a boot camp or kickboxing class, what's the pace of the contractions? Bam, 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 bam. Over and over. Nothing wrong with that, but what if you're like me and you're a little broken? Not where we want to be. We got to get stronger first and build that base. On my count, 3 seconds down. Ready? And down. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and up. Good, there you go. Next one, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and up. And down, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and up. One more time, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and up. Awesome job. Rotate, last person up. Here we go. Good job. On my count, again, the things we're looking for, upright torso, almost no ankle movement from the front leg if you can. On my count, ready, and push them down. Try and fight against it. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and up. Good. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and up. A little slower on the way down. And 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and up. There you go. Good. A little further stance. And 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and up. Awesome. Okay, those of you that had issues with the first squat when we got down in that deep squat mobility position, how many of you had issues on this movement? Almost no one. 1 or 2 people still had a little bit, and that's common, but now almost no one did. So by changing the exercise selection and the way we do it, your body now isn't going to spike cortisol, isn't going to cause stressors on you, isn't going to start inhibiting sleep and effects of long training sessions where you need, 20 minutes to warm up, 30 minutes to warm up to get going? Who here has 3 hours to work out every day in addition to teach classes, in addition to training? The young people, right? All the young people raise their hands. Absolutely, right? That's it. But again, if all training regimen is stress, and you've got to do 30 minutes to work out, what happens now? I still have a 60-minute workout, let's say. At the end of this workout, am I running on fuel anymore? Meaning, am I running on my carbohydrates or things I've eaten? No, what am I running on? If you have more cortisol, it's from my adrenals, right? You're pushing through the thing we want to inhibit and minimize so our body can gain lean muscle and adapt and repair old injuries. See where I'm going with this? Awesome. The next one's a little more advanced. If we want to stay on the split squat, that's totally fine. We're going to increase a little complexity on the movement. The next one's going to be a rear foot split squat, so we can either go back to a reverse lunge. Those of you that had the issue there, this one's really good for martial artists because we get a little bit of imbalance training along with the stuff. So what we're going to do is the first person's going to hold my foot nice and low, just super easy. You can on the ground or here. My hips are going to go back. So don't think of it coming forward. A lot of people will do this. My hips are coming back and down, and back and down. He's not raising my foot up, so I'm not a ballerina, or I'm not trying to go in this position. It's nice and easy. Here, back and down. And then Miss Athena is going to push on my shoulders from the front, right here. So I go down, so we have a 3-person drill, down, and I'll come up, try and push, push, push. Oh, you're strong. And that's the jam. 3 seconds down. If that's too challenging, where do I want you to go? A step back just to the reverse lunge, if you can, to the rear foot elevated split squat. Got it? Yes, coach? All right, here we go. First person up on my count. And those of you just stay with the reverse lunge, right? Perfect. Yeah, definitely. Okay. On my count, here we go. 3 seconds down, push against them, ready, and down. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, up. And 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, up. Good, slower down, slower down. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, up. One more time, ready, and 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and up. Very good, awesome job, rotating people. All right, other person up. And here we go, ready, and 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, up. And 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, up. 2 more times, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and up. And one more time, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and up. Very good, awesome job. Last person up. Okay, here we go on my count. Hold them tight, push them down. Hard on, again, the focus is on the eccentric loading, not on the dynamic contraction up. And down, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and up. And 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and up. Good, send your hips back a little more. And 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, up. Good, see how you're more up right here in the ankle. And 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, push them, 3,000, and up. Awesome job, round of applause. Okay, so let's say we've gone through and all the manual resistances would just be something like you'd have it loaded, right? It would be some weight. That's what we want to have. The focus to gain lean muscle as you age, in my opinion, is probably the #1 thing you need to do. Once you hit 60, it becomes really hard to gain muscle as you get older. That affects quality of life. Where literally we just had to move in with my mother-in-law, who's getting a full knee reconstruction yesterday. She's 70, lives on the 2nd story of her home, so I don't want anyone here in 10 years after that to go, oh, guess I'm calling it in. The goal is to do martial arts for a long time, yes? So, okay, so gain some muscle now, do things that our body can recover from. That means we can adapt from it. That's the jam. Who here feels mentally fried so far from this? Like, now we got 1, 2 people. Okay, but most of you guys are doing pretty good, so that's a great sign. But let's say we've made it to the end of the training session on legs. We've trained it, and these are things to strengthen the legs. Who was it Chris, where were you? You were asking, how do you strengthen your legs? You had the calf injury, right? Okay, so you're a dancer, or you're dancing for 6 hours. Is that correct? Yeah, awesome. So dancing, very dynamic, high, jumping, I'm sure, right? All that type of stuff. Jumping, bounding, jumping, doing the things Team Paul Mitchell does, I can't do that. Those are the expression of your physical abilities, right? So you don't need to do more dynamic contractions. Those type of things, jumping and bounding, are the expression of your muscle endurance and strength endurance. So if we're using this type of training to build stronger muscles, at the end of training, and you've seen it with your students, how good is your movement quality once you get? It goes down some, right? That's just common. So that doesn't mean we have nothing to do. What we want to do is, if we're going with the focus on eccentric loading and lowering, now what we're going to do is start stretching out the isometric contractions and the balancing portions of the musculature. All right? Isometric contractions are usually the easiest to hold. Those are your holds. They're not very fun. I hate them. I like to move fast, but those are the balance. So we've done things here for the quad and the front of the leg and the ankles. The next piece is going to be a 30-second eccentric squat that we're all going to do together into a 30-second hold. But there's a specific hold we're going to do. Raise your hand if you've heard the whole deal. Don't put your knees over your toes when you squat. Right? Yeah. Throw it out the window. There's parts of it that make sense. For increasing the ligament strength at the end range of motion, we actually want to be able to hold those positions really well. And here's why. So go ahead and everyone, we're going to jump off of 2 feet. You're You're going to land on one foot really quickly and then hold that position. Try not to move your knee. Wherever you land, you land. Okay, ready? Jump up kind of high and land on one foot and go. Good. Look at where your knee is on the landing leg. So many of you I saw your knee was in and it comes back out. You can stand where you want. Now, what's the issue with that? You guys can relax. Again, we jump up and we do this and recover. We're fatigued, we're tired. What motion does this look like, if you know what you're looking for? Torn ACL, who said it? Torn ACL, that's exactly what it is. So we need that, but I want your tendons to be strong in this in range. And are we going to do that by doing 500 front lunge contractions, like a lot of energy on our patella? Probably not. Here's the test. It's going to be 30 seconds of a squat lowering really slow. We have split squat, or you can do a pistol squat if you can, nice and slow for 30 seconds all the way down. At the end of that, we're going to go into what's called the ATG split squat. Front foot can come up a little bit. I want the knee to go as far as you can, your calf touching your hamstring here, and back leg off the ground. We're going to hold that for 30 seconds. So we're getting how much time under tension? 60 seconds, 30 seconds of lowering into 30 seconds of the hold. For hypertrophy purposes, for muscle growth, most sets should be about how long do you think? 10 seconds? 40 to 70 is about where you want to be. So we're doing this now with low cognitive load. We're not having to jump around to make the muscle stronger. Things we can do safely and in your range of motion. Okay, so from here, I want you to choose either split squat, nice and slow and down, or for some of you young people, you're going to do single leg for 30 seconds, right? And the goal is to keep moving slowly down. So here we go. I'm going to count. Anyone have a stopwatch? No, watch. Okay, give me every 5 seconds. Count. Every 5 seconds, please. Okay, here we go. I'll try and do a single leg squat just because I said so. I think I called this guy out, so I got to do two. 30 seconds down, then we'll transition to that long position. And go. Nice and slow. Hold a little slower down. No, that's not 30. That's 5. Keep going. We're going down to 30. That's 10 seconds, okay. Slower down, slower. Halfway, keep going a little lower. 20 seconds, 10 more seconds, keep going down. 25, 5 seconds. You should be almost at the bottom, but under tension, not relaxed. 30. Good. Now take that leg in the back. Get as long as you can with your back knee off the ground and push that knee as forward as you can with your chest upright in here. And hold for 30 more seconds. Go ahead. And push, push, push. Try and push forward. I want you as long as you can, almost no spacing between the calf and the hamstring. Ideally, if you do, that's okay. That just means it's another area for us to work on in a slow and controlled way. 20 seconds, 10 more seconds. Push forward, push forward. Time. Awesome job, everyone. Good round of applause. So, on that, notice at the end, the first drills we did to strengthen the leg, was there any ankle motion I was looking for? Reverse lunge, no. I wanted, because we're strengthening the musculature around it. Now, we're trying to increase the range of motion for that, so the ankle is forward, the knee is forward. So we're trying to hit both sides, not just continually double down on what we're doing. That's the first one. The next one we're going to do is going to be a quick hamstring piece that's a little challenging. Actually, let's get in groups of 2. No, say in groups of 3 for the hamstring. Coach Graff, come out. This one we're going to do, and sir, you can come out. And the Nordic. Yeah, so Coach Graff's going to hold my hamstrings. It's going to be an isometric hamstring. We're not going to go low. These are really hard on the hamstrings, but we've done a lot of quad and glutes so far. Sir, come here. You're just going to hold my hands here. I'm going to find a position that I'm like, oh, that's tight. And right here, it doesn't seem like much, right? Who's done these before? You know how my hamstrings are screaming right now. 30 seconds again. We're not trying to do a bunch of hamstring contractions. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Anyone here know where we have the most fast twitch muscle fibers in our body? Glutes and hamstrings. People tear those there. So we need not more sprint work with them. You're already doing that when you kick. Kicking fast. We need the balancing piece to it. Okay, so one person on both knees. Other person in front, you can hold their hands, and one person hold the feet down. Before we start, a lot of you may only go down like 1 degree. That's okay. Yes. Either way is comfortable. Tempo, we're just going to hold. I want you to get to a position that you can hold for 30 seconds. So go ahead and lean forward. Everyone lean forward with your partner. Yeah, I'll just count. Here we go. Ready? Find that position. Hips are straight. Lean forward, and let's go. Now hold. 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. 3, 1,000. Hamstrings tight. 4, 1,000. 5. And 10. Good. A little lower if you can. 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. 3, 1,000. 4, 1,000. 5. A little lower. One last set. And hold there. 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. 3, 1,000. 4, 1,000. Done. Awesome job. Yeah. Yeah, not a lot. Good. Second person up. Here we go. All right, one person hold the hamstrings, please. Other person hold the hands. There you go. And let's start. Go ahead and lean forward a little bit and hold right there. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. A little more forward now. Set 2, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. Make your hamstrings work a little forward. One more time. Hold nice and tight. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. Done. Awesome job. There we go. Excellent. All right, last person up. Here we go. Get that, hold the feet down and get the initial lean and help them. It might just be 1 degree. That's okay. It's not how far you go. It's what your body can handle. On my count, here you go. And 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, and 5, 1,000. Good. Hold right there. And a little lower. Good. Right to the hamstrings. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. A little deeper. Last one. Hips tight. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, and 5, 1,000. Time. Awesome job, everyone. Okay, so whose hamstrings are all lit up like mine right now? We're feeling it, right? But again, if we look at it from a training and martial arts standpoint, when you're kicking all the time, those are very fast twitch movements, fast twitch dynamic contractions. So do we need to come off the mat and do more fast twitch dynamic contractions? No, we want to build the base of support as big as we can. That's what keeps our hamstrings healthy, the knees, all this stuff. So when we go double down and do more of the actual sport we love or the art we love, your body can recover from it. Is that starting to make sense how I'm putting this together? Okay, last one we're going to do, when we do a lot of hamstring extension, hip flexor extension in squatting or lunging, we're going to focus on some flexion now. So this one, Coach Kraft, come out. He's going to hold my foot, and this is going to be resisted. I'll try not to break the speaker this time. You're going to hold my foot. He's going to try and keep me from pulling my knee up. Right, so it's going to be here. I'm going to try and pull it in nice and tight, up and in, 1, and then relax out. Good. Up, pulling in here, up and out. We're going to do 5 of those each side because where's been the force before? Down and up, the opposite position. Okay, so I want to make sure I don't need you to do more of that. It's the opposite thing that's going to actually help keep us in the game a little longer. So with your partner, let's get in groups of 2 this time. There we go. So if you're a third person, you get a new partner. First person on your back.
Can we just start?
No, on my count. So here's what we're going to do. Pull the knee up and in. Pull it up. And now fight against it. You're going to pull it back and fight against it to pull it out on my count. And 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. Back up and fight it. The knee up to your chest. Try and fight pulling it out. And go. Pull it out. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, and 5, 1,000. So bent. I want you to go bent to straight. Okay, here we go. One more time. Ready? And bend the knee and pull. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, and 5, 1,000. Good. Other leg. Here we go. Pull that knee, bend it up. Yes. On my count, we're going to do 3 of them for 5 seconds. Yeah, I showed it backwards. Yeah, here we go. So pull the knee up. We're going to try and pull it out on my count. And 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, and 5, 1,000. Good. 2 more times. Really fight against it. 1, 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, and 5 1,000. Good. One more time, nice and strong. Good hip flexor strength. And 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, and 5 1,000. Awesome job. Here we go. Rotate. Okay, here we go. Ready, and 5 seconds, 3 reps of 5 seconds. You can do more of these, but we're keeping it tight for time. On my count, and 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, and 5 1,000. That's 1, relax. 2 more times, ready? 1 1,000, pull hard, 2 1,000, make her work, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, and 5 1,000. Good. Last one, here we go, leg 1, and 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, and 5 1,000. Awesome job. Here we go, switching legs. And here we go, last set. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, and 5 1,000. Relax. 2 more times. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, and 5 1,000. Good. Keep that knee bent. Make them work for it now. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, and 5 1,000. Awesome job. Big high five for your partner. How are we doing on time? Okay, good. Okay, we're going to do one more piece here real quick. Who had the question? Yeah. You can go either way. I showed it for the initial for the concentric one, and I switched some people over to the eccentric there because it's going to be a lot of pulling up and in to balance out with the fight against that is really hard to get. Right? So both ways work. It just depends on kind of what the focus of that balancing is relative to the individual. Make sense? Yes. Awesome. Okay, good. The last one we're going to do is a core piece. And again, when we're doing martial arts, there's already a lot of core movement. Our core is really designed. It's the whole sheet through here, right? It's not just my 12-pack. I don't have a 12-pack. But it's not just that. Everything around here is your core, so I'm going to keep this strong. The goal of the core on the base of this is anti-rotation, right? It's not for flexion, it's to pull against that and to fight against that. So the test is going to be this for us, and you can come up again, Coach, please, thank you. I'm going to have my legs up, I'm going to try and lower for 30 seconds against him. He's going to push, keep your hands up on top of me, and try and push him down as I come down. Go push, push, push. I'm going to try and fight for 30 seconds up. Each rep probably takes about 3-4 seconds up. At the end of that, we're going to flip over into a prone plank. And for us, a prone plank, we're going to keep our palms in, Dr. Hahn style, right? Keep my shoulder blades down, my rib cage locked. What I don't want to be is in this position, my plank. In, nice, tight. Everyone try it with me just where you are standing. Up and in. Feel how your back feels nice and locked in and rigid. Do this and pull it out now. You feel what happens to your thoracic there? So in here for the plank. You're going to do 30 seconds, but Coach Graff is going to be pushing on me, trying to keep me because it's anti-rotation. We can do this with bands. He's here. I'm going to try and, he's rigid. He's strong. I can't move him a little bit. That's what we're doing. I know you all can hold a plank for 30 seconds. The goal is to be anti-rotation powerful. Sounds good? Yes, Coach? Yes, Coach. All right, so partner up, groups of 2. One person with your legs up. We're going to do 5 seconds lowering with your legs straight. Here we go. Legs up. It's going to be like this, and you're going to push them down. You're going to fight against it. On my count, legs are up, 5 seconds, and rep 1, and 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, straight legs, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, and up, legs straight. Rep number 2, 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, and up. Last one, here we go, legs up. And push them down, fight them, 1 1,000, 2 1,000, push down, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, flip it over to prone plank position. Right here. Palms up. Give them a push, 30 seconds. Here we go, and we're starting. Move them, be strong, be rigid, be immovable. Hips locked, rib cage locked, yeah. Pull them around, where can you go this way? Where's their weak point? And time. Very, very good. Awesome job. Other partner up. Legs are straight. Bring them up, and you're going to try and push them down. You're fighting against it. On my count, here we go. Ready? Legs are up. And lowering. 1 1,000, 2 1,000. Fight against it. 3 1,000, 4 1,000, and 5 1,000. That's rep 1. Back up. Ready? And 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, and up. One more time. Ready? And 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000. Roll it over to prone plank. Palms up, elbows in. Rib cage tight. And push them. Go. Try and be strong. Ah, he got you. Come on. Nice and strong. That was like a shove, right? There you go. Be immovable. Elbows tight. Yeah. It's good. 5 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and time, and relax. Awesome job, everyone. Okay, awesome. Eyes on me real quick while I go over the next part, please, and thank you. For this part, we could go into, again, we could keep doing this upper body pushing. We had shoulder stuff. The idea is we want to try and strengthen these at their end range. The easiest way to strengthen them if you have injury is isometrics for most cases. Would that be for upper body pushing? We're not going to go through every variation of these, but we could. Would be in the push-up position, slowly lower, and then at the end, when my shoulder is most stretched, to be able to hold that for the same idea, right? Same 30 seconds. We create time under tension. The goal for a lot of these initial tests are not for max output or max contractions. Who here knows what your 1 rep max is in something right now for a lift? And you're over 30. Doesn't really matter anymore, right? It really doesn't. It's such a bad predictor of a lot of things we need to focus on. But the best predictors have the lowest injury rate, their muscle endurance, motor control, and movement quality. All right? Muscle endurance, motor control, movement quality. If we get those down, that also corresponds with the high time under tension focus that is good for muscle gain. Now, if we want to gain muscle and our workouts are too stressful, where does our body process stress through? The gut, right? When our gut's inflamed because stress is high, who here's heard of leaky gut? Yeah, all sorts. We could go through all sorts of different things that happen. When that happens, can your body break down protein well? No, high stress. Think about when you're stressed out, I don't like to eat. I'm up, I'm anxious. Can I sleep well when I'm stressed? No, exactly. So our body misses the natural human growth hormone release in the early part of the evening, right? All it gets is what around 3 to 5 a.m.? Who knows what? More cortisol. You get the cortisol dump 3 to 5 a.m. You need that. That's what wakes you up. No cortisol isn't good either. So Tim said cortisol is bad. You need that. If a bus or a kick is coming at you, you should probably move, right? That's that's stress response, right? You flinch, fight or flight. You're supposed to move. But if we have that imbalance, now our hormones are imbalanced, can our body recover in that state? And then you wonder, why do we have old injuries? What do we say, Landa, just tough to have? How many injuries? You have foot reconstruction?
Foot, hip, shoulder, both wrists.
Right. How many people you train with know that you have that? Very few. You just tough through it and grind it out? I bet it feels awesome, huh? Yeah, we're just joking, right? Those things happen, so if we don't fix the metabolic function, we increase training. It's not what we can train, it's what we can recover from. So those things have to be connected. So if we don't fix the metabolic functions of our body, we increase stress in training, how good do you feel? Not good at all, right? So that's the big idea of how we stay in the game. It's not just the exercise selection, it's not just the time under tension, it's how we get that to correspond with the nutrition and metabolic profiles for recovery and energy. That way, instead of doing 30 minutes of warm-up at the start of class or start of your workout, the first set is the warm-up. Because the exercises are ones like the split squat we could do with almost no warm-up, right? We did basically nothing. We did a knee screen against the wall. That's not a warm-up. And we could go through and everyone could express their power versus say, let me five more sets of these and I can finally get into something that looks like a squat. Yeah, that's Dr. Hahn calls that loading dysfunction. Means we don't build the biggest base we can first. Sure, the next stage, we've done that. Is there anything wrong with loading yourself up with weight, loading yourself up with harder exercises? Not at all. That's the whole point. But if it's resiliency is the goal and focus, and we can only train what we can recover from, and if all training programs are organized regimens of stress, why are we going to start throwing more stress than our body can handle? Can't process, can't break down, can't recover from. By day 5, you feel kind of fatigued like today, right? Make sense? Everyone, let's go ahead and get back to the wall, please, and thank you where you were first. And I want you to go retest now that same ankle screen we did in the beginning. Try and see how far you can go with your foot against the wall, with your right leg to your knee against the wall. With the right leg, see if you can go further, and go ahead and set one and go. Good, move back a little further, heel against the wall, you can have your hands there. Good, a little further. Awesome, let's go to your left leg now. Awesome, go ahead and do it. See if you can go a little further back and get that knee to just gently kiss the wall. With your heel on the ground, hands are okay. Good, awesome, go ahead and relax. Raise your hand if you went a little further on one of your legs. Right? And it's not because we're warmed up. Oh, we did a warm-up. No, the goal is we did training, right? That would have been the training session. So we didn't have to do 30 minutes of warm-up, that now we're starting our workout. Could everyone come on in, please, and thank you one more time? Right, does that make sense that if we would have spent the first half hour just getting ready, oh, I'm warm, now I can do this further. Sure, the goal is that. But the workout time's almost over. Right? I think I get like 3 times a week of 30 minutes. It's about all I do for actual like resistance training the rest of the time. Then we're actually training. We're doing martial arts or teaching classes or doing other stuff. Because I don't want to try and add more on my plate. That then this bad ankle, this hip, this foot surgery, these bad hands now can't recover from, okay? The last thing I want to do, everyone one more time like to start. Go ahead and shake that hand out for me. And now make a tight fist, really tight. Good, shake it out again, one more time. Tight. Worse, same, or better than the start? What would you say? Okay, so let me get this straight. We did our training session, and you feel more mentally focused now, not less. Things that involve high nervous system function, usually those go away at the end of a training session. You're usually usually less focused, less accurate at the end of a session, right? That's the supercompensation cycle. You train, that actually breaks your body down so you're worse, and then you recover, you come back stronger. That's training. So it makes sense that if we did things that don't involve a lot of cognitive function, that's lower stress. We do things that don't involve a lot of irritation to our joints or body, that's lower stress, that you can do the training, feel good, and now, let's say you trained, what are other things you have to do in your day? Teach classes? Who's teaching classes later in the day? Everyone. Who's got to be with the kids later in the day? Be with their loved ones. All these things that I want you to have your best mental function for that. Not, again, us at 21 years old with no money, nothing in our life. We could just train for fun, right? Let's finish training, let's train some more. More stress. Give me some more stress of that, because we could recover from it. And if all training is regiments of stress, we can only train what we can recover from, then it makes sense that we should be able to do this and have more mental focus for the stuff that matters. Yes, Coach? Yes. Awesome. Any questions for me on this or anything we did today? Raise your hand, please, and thank you. We crushed it, huh? Yes, sir.
Coach, I saw that way you were doing a push-up, your elbows were in. What's the proper way to do a push-up?
Awesome. That's a great question. For martial arts, who wants to? How do we punch? Out here? Right, but yeah, most usually in tight. For most people, we'd agree. This is usually a bad anatomical position to push in. Everyone, try this real quick. Go ahead and get in push-up position, or get on your knees first, rather. This is the important one because of both shoulder health and transferability. I always want to try and get both of those down. It's not just getting stronger. If you have an 800-pound deadlift, it may not help martial arts that much because there's no positions that we're really in that mimic that, right? So from here, get your hands on the ground stacked with your shoulder over your wrist. Splay your hands and fingers out as far as you can. And now what I want you to do is try and turn your shoulder out and turn the elbow pit to face forward. Good. Good. Go ahead and relax real quick. We'll try it again one more time. Good. Shoulders over your hands. Open up your palms as wide as you can against the ground. Now try and turn this elbow pit out forward as you crank on and turn your shoulder forward. What we're doing now is we've loaded up our shoulder joint, our pec, and our tricep because muscles contract strongest when they are stretched. That's the stretch shortening cycle. So we're here, we're turning in, and everyone try this. Go ahead and do it with your palms out, elbows out. I know no one does push-ups like this here, but I want to show the opposite of it. And go ahead and try this. We see little kids, people who have never done sports. Doesn't that just seem horrible, right? It's horrible. It's no different when I see people squat. Okay, so from here, palms in, turn them out, rotate that elbow pit out. Elbow's going to go back now and load your shoulder up. Everyone try this with a tight glute. Squeeze your glutes. Lower yourself down. We're going to lower for 15 seconds. Ready? And lower down. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 10, 12, hold the bottom, 13, 14, 15. Now hold here for 15. We're most stretched. We want time under tension where our joints are most stretched, where they can get stronger here. 5 more seconds, nice and strong. And up. Good. Because you were stacked, everything's in alignment now. Our joints, our muscles are strongest here. Does that answer your question, Coach? Yes, sir. Awesome. I hope that's something you can take away from this. Awesome. Any other questions for me? Yes? Isometric is a static hold. So if we look at 4 components of any lift, we're up here. This is isometric, right? I'm standing, I'm holding this. There is the eccentric, which is the lowering or the stretching of the muscles. So this is the lowering portion of the squat. I have a bottom isometric position, and then I have the concentric, or the contraction. So if we look at jumping, this is a dynamic contraction, right? There are regular contractions. That's it. This would be a contraction. This would be an eccentric. But this would be the dynamic, meaning it's happening kind of at a faster pace without a really defined isometric top point, right? I'm not pausing in the air. It's down, so it's cyclical like that. That's the concentric. If we read it as a tempo, it's something really important to look into, especially as you get older. It goes the lowering first. So if we say we're going to do 10 squats at 4:0:1:0 tempo, right? That's 50 seconds of time under tension. Awesome. So here we go. So it's 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. I could add a 1 here. So 4, 1. I stand up as 1. There's a pause 1. So 4 seconds. How much did I pause at the bottom? 1 second. That's 5. I stood up. And I got 1 more. I pause here that's 7 seconds per rep. So if I want to be between 40 to 70 seconds of time under tension, for muscle growth, again, you can gain muscle in all ranges of stuff, but just for muscle endurance, this works really well. But how many reps would I want to do? Right? 6 to 10, right? Makes sense? Because 6 would be 42 seconds, 10 would be 70. So now I know I did 10 squats. If I do them like this, that's fast contraction will be lower muscle growth. Higher eccentric, because we're already doing hard dynamic contractions when we kick and we throw and we punch and we run. Fast, fast, fast pace, yes? So we want to do the opposite. Slow it down here. Make the muscles go, not hard here. Save that for later. Get your body to grow. Does that answer your question, sir? Awesome. Go to the next one. Yes, please.
I work with some adults that sometimes have knee to hip problems. Do you have any dynamic or isometric exercises that can help with like hip rotation or hip strength?
Yeah, 2. So depending on obviously what the actual issue is there. 2 that work really well. The first one is a pigeon stretch. You guys can try this one with me that goes into the seated hip rotation. So try this. It's a little harder, but it's a really great one for you. The shin's going to be horizontal. The back leg is going to be long. It's going to be perpendicular from here. Now bring your chest straight down as low as you can do it properly with our hips square. So no cockeyed hips. Right here, hold your chest down for 10 seconds. And up, let's pretend that's 10. Let's go to the other leg just so and go ahead and hips, again, hips don't want to be here. Pull them in. See how your leg's back? Keep the shin out here. And I'll lower down and hold for, let's pretend like it's 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. That's the precursor drill. Here's the seated hip mobility drill. It goes back into that part of thoracic mobility, which is really, really underused in almost all martial art training. It just is. I don't know what the historical reason for that is. We just see it. And then in most people, what do we do in our world? We drive. Where are we? We type, we're here, we're here, everything is here. Read the news, you're here, it's all the same. So that part can start to affect a lot of things. I'll show you the 2 vectors after this piece. From here, bring one foot in, closer to your groin. The other foot's going to come behind you. And again, if you have knee issues, keep them out further. Here's the drill. It's going to be as upright of a torso as you can. Again, go from everyone fold. Now come upright. Do you feel that in the middle part of your back? You'll be challenged there greatly right now. Arms up, and you're going to unlock the first leg here, keeping your heels as close as you can to your body. And rotate over, and down here. Good. Now, and let's bring it back. Raise the other leg up. Chest upright, hips turn, and down. Go ahead and relax real quick. So I would do like 5 of those each side, a few sets. It's a great one. The movement compensations, you feel that? The movement compensations we see are this. To get around, what do? I'm here, I can't hold it, so I bend my thoracic here. Or I create space by going out wider, right? My hips aren't really working here as much, all right? So in there, that thoracic part of the spine has to be dialed in and be strong. So again, pull it up, hips open. Try and stay as upright, head as tall as you can. Try it one more time. Up, and I notice on this one, you dip down some. You feel that? So, yeah, exactly. And go the other way, and down, and in. It's so hard. You'll be very sore. Go ahead and relax. The issues with that are, why does that matter? Well, if you want to kick, and we're transferring force through the core, why anti-rotation and power through the core is so important in being rigid. If I'm here, and this does that, did that diminish my power? You know it did. Yeah, you all see it. It absolutely does. So I have to be strong so I can produce force from the ground to that ankle screen we did into my opponent. Yes? That's the jam. There's 2 vectors that go through your body. This one goes from the top here all the way across, down here to the ankle through the hamstring, and this way on this side. So we're here. They cross-section the middle part of the back there. All right, so a lot of times we have bad ankles. Does your hamstring hurt too? Yep, low back pain. What else happens? Your neck hurts. Those are connected there. So the thoracic part is kind of a big piece of unlocking a lot of power and performance, of making that rigid and strong. So things like a goblet squat or a goblet lunge in this position is really good. And then also just things like the plank series, Romanian deadlifts, etc. Staggered stance deadlifts can be very strong for that also. And whose question? That answer?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. I think we have time for maybe 1 or 2 more. Sir. Yeah, please, just go to, I didn't print anything out. It's like all coaching stuff. I write it on a piece of paper. I actually have a whole presentation for you. It's not just this. I couldn't bring a laptop with me. Go to go to athletecrew.com. I have a Facebook group where I have 2 guides I want to give you. One is called the Get Back in the Game Guide, where I break down, here's kind of the step-by-step pieces that I've used to train. I've trained 4 Masters World Champions, 65 and over, doing this that had never won before. I said, here's what they got. I mean, they're broken, man. I know they're broken, and how to get you back in the game on that. And another one is more of a performance-based guide. There's one on, anyone want the metabolism one too? Well, you'll opt in there, and then I'll just send you the stuff, okay? It's athletecrew.com. Athletecrew.com. Yeah, Athlete Crew, ATHLETECREW.com. It's my Facebook group. I just have a redirect because I'm clever like that. All right. Yes?
Lower back.
Yes.
I've got L4, L5 range.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to see a physical therapist or a real doctor for that stuff. That stuff's not great. That, when you get into L's or the C's, the cervical or the lumbar, those are, those are not ones that we're just like, yeah, just kind of scale it back a little. Those ones make me very nervous. We always want to stay in our lane of that. Go see someone that really, that's, they're not a performance coach. They're not also going to do your nutrition. They're like, here, you're sitting on this chair because you get that healed, a lot of stuff's going to get better for you. But yeah, that would be my advice. Yeah. Next question, time for 1 or 2. Yes, ma'am.
Mine kind of piggybacks on that. If you have issues, because I have the same, I had two discs
Yep.
messed up here, 2 discs
Yeah.
messed right here, and I had annular fissures in my lower back. So I took off 6 months.
Yeah.
I couldn't even do a jump yet.
Yes.
How can I strengthen? What
Yeah.
exercise can I strengthen? That's been like 4
Yeah.
or 5 years ago.
Sure.
But I'm still having lower back and the neck issues right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you notice, my posture's like this, and I'm trying to sit up straight. And sometimes it's hard to sit like this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do this. So, and
All
very
right.
tight in my hamstrings back.
Yeah.
Is there anything?
There's a lot of things. Anyone else connect with that at all? That you've got some stuff where you're just like, man, I've been hurt. You're trying to get back in the game, you get hurt. This isn't the advice everyone wants to hear. Is in this stage, this type of stuff takes priority. So it's like we want to get back into class and do it because we love it, right? Love kicking things, love throwing people. Those are contractions that are going to be very hard for our body if we look at it from muscle endurance. Next is strength endurance. The top is max contractions or dynamic contractions. Strength endurance would be like, okay, can you do a set of 30% of your body weight in each hand in a rear foot elevated split squat with a 3-second lowering tempo for 8 reps? That's a precursor I have to dynamic contractions. So before that would be, can we just get the muscle strong again? And before getting the muscle strong, what's going to prevent her creating muscle? Stress and metabolic function, right? So we go from the metabolic reset through getting you on being able to absorb protein and break it down and not just poop it out, right? That's what happens, right? Everyone, I'm on 100 grams of protein. No, you're not. Your body's getting like 40 grams in probably. That's the truth. And we wonder why we can't stay in the game where these injuries keep stacking up. So I'd say first get that. Second, try and get really strong first overall, and then get back in, because all that happens, you do it, training's going good, and then what happens? Old injury. I'm out. I hate it. I get to go back to class on Tuesday. Tuesday was great. Wednesday, Thursday, I don't want to ever stop again. Oh, weird. How do we guess? It's crazy. Yeah, this is what happens. I know you want to get the third dawn, so we got to actually take a step back, build the base as strong as we can. We can only go as high as the base is wide. The more injuries we have, that base gets to get triple wide. When you're, who here is 18, 17, teenagers, right? You're good. You go run. You could probably do a backflip right now. You're going to do 540s after class. You can do a backflip, right? See, he's like not sure if he wants to show off his backflip or not. You're pretty close. But that's when you're 18. You can do that stuff. You're resilient. You have hormones pumping through your body, and the life stress is really low. Not as much, right? A lot of old injuries, a lot of things. Yes, sir?
Do you cover any of this stuff in your Get Back to in the Game guide?
Yes, I cover all of that on my Get Back in the Game guide at athletecrew.com. One more question, please, and thank you. Wait, who do I got? I think I have one more person. Yes? Elbow. What happened? Yeah, a lot of grip stuff from tendonitis. So again, with any of these things that become overuse, I want you guys to look at it and to go, what is the opposite there, right? What is the opposite? How do I go with knee pain? We've also trained the glutes and hamstrings. What's the backside of the stuff to do? Like for knee pain, I'll give you an example. Backwards loaded walking is really good. We were going to do resisted walking. I didn't have time. And that would be where I'm here and you go toe to heel. If you have knee pain, he's going to try and fight against me. I'm going to try and walk backwards here. Really good for that stuff. Same with tendonitis. We want to train the opposite motions stronger, not trying to go and double down more on that. And then again, for elbows and backs, you really got to see a specialist if that stuff, because so much is grip intensive. Grip is connected with nervous system. You see the deal. Okay? Awesome, everyone. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. Yeah. Hopefully, as I said at the start, who here got one takeaway on this session? Then my work here is done. Thank you so much. Everybody have a great rest of your session. Hey, you're the best. Oh.